Leave it to DiskCart to ignore all these other like video game items here. To point out the succulent. But yeah, shout out to DiskCart. Thank you very much for having me on the show. He had a couple comments and questions about the game room, and I would like to answer them today. So again, thank you very much, Mr. DiskCart. Look at, you can see my bow staff there. Thank you very much for having me on the show. And this episode is dedicated to you answering your questions and comments about the game room. One of the comments that he had on his video was about my floating shelf here. And I think he's under the impression that I might have purchased some of my shelves here. Like if you look, none of these shelves are purchased. All these I made. He thought, he was under like, what brand were these? I'm like, they're not really a brand. Nathaniel brand, aka done on the cheap. These are 1x6 boards basically that I nailed together with an air gun, painted them black and put like cardboard on the back. I'm sure if I go closer you can kind of see, you know, the handiwork that I did. I've repainted these shelves a few times. I've had a lot of practice at these shelves. If you follow the channel, this is just 1x6 boards that I bought from the Home Depot. And then this over here is, I think, 1x4s. I had just discovered it one day. I was like, well, they make wood in 1x4. You have to understand, look at this hand. No calluses, man. Very gentle hand here for the health work that I do. This here is 1x4 that I nailed together. I think I actually used screws in this one as opposed to air nails or brad nails. So I thought I would give him an overview on how I made this shelf and how it's hanging here. Again, please, this is not a how-to tutorial. I'm sure there's proper ways to do this. So this is the cheap Amazon RGB lights that you can buy. There's this little, you know, cord concealer here, and underneath there, like nailed to the wall, is the receiver for this guy. This little thing hanging out is the receiver for the remote. So you point it there, and it's backlit. $30, I think this is on Amazon. You can change the color of it. You can see the RGB strip is right here. I personally don't like it when you see the RGB strip. I like the ambiance glow, the reflective light that it has when it bounces off the wall. But when the RGB strip's on the top here, and it's also underneath right there, you don't really see the strip itself. This is not a booger. This is sticky tack. From head on, you really don't see the strip here. Here, I'll turn off a little bit of the light so you can see it better. So this is pretty much the angle you'll always see it at. And like, I don't see the RGB strips as much. Maybe if I go on my tippy toes, or if you're Ian and you're 6'12", you can see that. But my Filipino stature cannot see those RGB lights. On the side here, it's a little bit of a different trick though. So I offset a little bit of the 1x4s. You can see here it's kind of offset. And that's so I could hide the RGB strip on the side there, so you don't see it from the front. Because if it's on the side here, like if it was flush on here, you could see it from the front. But now that it's hidden inside like that recess there, it gives off that nice glowing effect that I like. So yeah, screwed it together, 1x4 boards, painted them white. How's it hanging here? Basically, I'll take off these games here. I'll peek behind the curtain, let's say. So I don't know what you call this type of wood. What do you call this? You call this wood strapping. And basically I use the stud finder to find the studs in the wall. And I leveled this with a level, obviously. I used drywall screws there. So I left this level to the wall and I screwed into the studs, basically. You can see it's kind of all along the back there. And I did it for the second shelf just so it could support more weight. I did it on that shelf and that shelf. So a little bit of measurement is required. Then the next step is you take the shelf that you built and you just kind of fit it over top. You fit it onto there on each shelf so that, you know, gravity's holding it. And I think at the top here, I just used some air nails. I'm sure you could use screws too, and I just kind of put a couple in to secure it down. Not a professional. The next question my friend had was about this PlayStation. He didn't know what this was. PlayStation cabinet. You thought it revolved or something? No, this is like a store display where they would put the games on here, so you can see what games you want to buy. So they would open it up. Obviously, I don't use this for game storage, but they would have all the new games sealed on these shelves here. Obviously, I've used baskets from the dollar store, and I've just kind of housed my controllers in there. Here, I'll put a little bit of light on there. It's gotten really messy over the years. And at the bottom here, I used to put all my business files and stuff down here, but now I just kind of use it as, like, I have to use that for my continuing education for my professional work. These are incomplete games in there. I'll show this here just for this video. Yeah, these aren't in the best condition, but I mean, they're a gift from my mother-in-law. These are not going to stand the test of time. Maybe I should get these graded. Who wants to get these graded? Anyways, that's the cabinet. It's not a mystery. It's not some sort of futuristic swivel device. It is just basically a retail store display. Somebody purchased this from the States, a viewer of the channel. And I'm going to be sad to see this go. A lot of memories with this bad boy over here. He purchased this alongside with this here. There was a question whether this sign here was authentic Nintendo, like official Nintendo, and it is. It's not like that nice one that's double-sided. This is like a vacuum-formed Nintendo sign thing. You would have seen it on our channel back in like 2012. A little crack in there. I guess the next comment on his video was about my collectibles stuff. Apparently, I have a love for first four figures. Officially, this Majora's Mask statue. It's a full-sized Majora's Mask first four figures statue. That one was quite pricey. You would have seen that on our channel. There's no first four figures up there. This is a first four figure Shovel Knight. Ian and I, brothers in arms, will always be linked because he has the ornate plate version and I have the regular version of Shovel Knight here. Next was this Zelda. If you follow me on my other channel, officially launching soon, Kuya Nate. This is a first four figures Zelda exclusive PVC statue. It does light up. So that's first four figures. This is actually Dark Horse Collectibles. I got this back in like 2015, I think. You got a factory sealed graded Breath of the Wild Zelda there. I'm gonna make a video about this, but somebody made a comment like it was a waste or something to do that. I'm gonna make a video explaining why that man is wrong. And I know a lot of people probably share that man's sentiment, but I don't think it was wrong for me to get this graded. Beside that is my factory sealed Amiibo Champion set from Breath of the Wild. I know they re-released this for the Hyrule Warriors 2 game that came out. I was thinking of rebuying them. I'm such a fan of Breath of the Wild. If I made a top 10 list of my favorite games of all time, Breath of the Wild is in the top 3 for damn sure. 1 first 4 figure, 2 first 4 figures, 3 first 4 figures. This here is Kotobukiya Bishoju statues. I'm kind of 50-50 on keeping these. So now that I have a daughter as well, part of me is at odds with keeping such items in my game room. I think if I limit it just to this shelf and I don't buy any more Kotobukiya Bishoju statues, I think I'm okay. We turn ever so gently to the nook. This is my PlayStation area. Kind of like, it was not a closet. He thought maybe this was a closet conversion. I think they just wanted to maximize all the room in here. But yeah, this nook is not a closet conversion. This is literally just a nook here. And leave it to DiskCart, okay? There are like over 500 PS2 games here. Over 200, I'm assuming, PlayStation 1 games, all these box Nintendo, Super Nintendo games. These are from the dollar store lights. There you go. Leave it to DiskCart to ignore all these other like video game items here. To point out the succulent. Oh, see, that's the lighting here. This is the lighting strip. Again, I don't like seeing these strips, but from the angle on the floor, you don't see it. You just see the radiance. I added this actual little lip here to kind of hide that. To point out the succulent thingy here. I use this for like ambiance if I'm taking pictures of products and stuff like that. But I am happy that he brought that up because he brings up a good point about like my thought process of how I decorated this game room and the way I designed it, I guess, for myself. Okay, He does make me feel old. He says my game room looks adult. I think that's a nice way of saying I'm getting old, which I'm fine with. It's important to have little aspects like a plant or this wood here to kind of pull you back into reality, right? And not have just an overload of just video game items in this room. And that is something I've consciously tried to do. Like, I didn't want to just have a bunch of video game items everywhere. I have a lot of stuff. I've really pared down this room. This is literally like half my collection, I will say. Yeah, probably half my collection. I still have a lot more stuff in storage and all that. I'm paring down my collection a bit. And I purposely pulled in elements like this, elements like that. One of the goals I had a few years ago, I said it on a video, was to make a more inspiring space. I think if you're just overloaded with just video game items in a room, I feel it puts you like in a little bit of a box. You know, and then having little accents like this that pull you out of it, and not just having strictly video game items in your room, allows you to incorporate more things into your thought process, hence incorporating them into your content that you produce on your channel. Not that I make, crazy videos or anything like that, but I just wanted a little bit of different flavor in the room. And that's it for me. Kuya Nate, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Shout out DiskCart. Check out his channel. It will be linked in the description below. Let him know that we sent you. Or if you're here from his channel, thank you very much for watching. This is Nate from thriftdweller. Peace. Take care of yourselves and each other.